What's up, everybody? Sour Milk and Pennies here, and today I'm going to be showing you my one punch build. This is basically a Sunwuko set, 6 piece with Wave of Light for all your damage. This will be a little bit different than what you might see. Instead of running um, the air ally for the extra spirit regen, I do fire for the extra damage just because the blinding flash with Laws of Seth will always keep you at full spirit. So you pretty much don't need to run anything with spirit regen. I do on my sweeping wind just because nothing else really seems feasible as a passive for the sweeping wind. So I just run that just because. But for Mystic Ally, I would say do fire if you can. If you have Laws of Seth in your cube, then you're good on Spirit. You don't have to worry about ever running out. Um, just focus on increasing your damage as much as possible. If you do not have Laws of Seth, then what you want to do instead of Fire Ally, you want to do Air, and it will actually give you 8 spirit regen because of your Crutus boots, and it will also give you 200 spirit when you trigger it if you run out. So just keep that in mind when you're doing your build. But anyways, for the gear that I'm running, let me pull that up as soon as I find the right button. Um, yeah, so it's a TCO for your headpiece, Sunwukos for shoulders, hands, chest, neck, and legs. Your wrist is going to be Pintos. Your belt will be Kiyoshiro, however you want to say it. You know what I'm talking about. So this one gives you the sweeping wind 2 stack every second. That way, this is always capped out at 10. If you're As long as you're running it with Vengeful Wind, which you should be, so you never have to run out and worry about the stacks dropping off. Your other weapon, Kiroshiro's Blade. This is just extra damage on your Wave of Light. Boots, like I said, it's Crutus. It gives you 2 of your allies. And Avarice Band with Boon of the Hoarder for extra movement speed. Obsidian, reduces the cooldown of all your spells when you're hitting everything with your Wave of Light. And I got Bane of the Trapped in there. And then I got Goku of Swiftness in my neck piece. Um, I do this just because it gives you extra cooldown reduction, for one. And the other is the attack speed, which works really well with this. 15% extra attack speed once you max out Goku from hitting shit. Works really well. The other thing that you would probably want to be running, if not this, then would be Zaystone. And this just gives you extra damage as long as you stay far away from the mobs. If you're right up on them, then this is pretty much worthless. And I got that in my Unity in case I need extra damage reduction and I want to do extra damage. Normally, I run this in Greater Rifts only if I run this build, but for normal Rifts, T10, T13, I will always be using Avarice Band. Um, let's see. So for the cube, you'll want to be running Incense Torch for reduced spirit on your Wave of Light. It's up to 50% since it's in the cube. Laws of Seth, obviously, this is a must have for this build for the way I have it set up. This gives you 165 spirit. And because of the way that this build is set up, Obsidian Ring has blinding flash going off every 2 to 3 seconds. So not only will I always have an extra 29% extra damage, but I'll always be getting 165 spirit, so I never run out of spirit. And then Ring of Royal Grandeur finishes off the 6-piece. For Paragon, core on this, since I never run out of spirit, I don't waste any of my points in there. There's no point in this as long as you have Laws of Seth. If you don't, then you want to max out your spirit, your movement speed, and then put the rest in dexterity. But in my case, it's just maxing out movement speed, and then everything else is going in dexterity. Offense, you want to prioritize cooldown reduction, and then crit hit damage, then crit hit chance, and then attack speed. Defense would be resist all, armor, life regen. And utility last would be area damage, resource cost reduction, life per hit, and the gold find. If you find that you're running out of spirit a lot, then I would say prioritize resource cost over area damage, but you want to do area damage first if you can, just so you're doing more, overall damage every time you cast. But that's it for the Paragons. Skills, this is what I got going on. Wave of Light, Explosive Light. I got Mystic Ally Fire for the 20% increased damage, since this is being doubled thanks to my Crutus Boots. First action bar skill would be Faith in the Light, or Blinding Flash with Faith of the Light. This gives you your spirit regen for the most part, but it also gives you 29% increased damage. Dashing Strike, Falling Star gives you increased movement speed, and also an oh shit button if you get surrounded by things, or if you have a projectile coming towards you. Sweeping Wind, Inner Storm. Like I said, I just use Inner Storm because nothing else here is even feasible. Freezing stuff makes no it makes no sense because it won't be alive long enough for this to be effective. You shouldn't be close enough to where your Sweeping Wind is hitting enemies, because if you are, then you're going to be running out of your stacks a lot faster, and then you will run the risk of actually running out. So Blade Storm is garbage. Firestorm, this is garbage as well. You don't want to be close enough to where you're actually hitting mobs with your Sweeping Wind. And Cyclone, I mean, this will spawn the little tornadoes, but nothing's going to be alive around it for it to hit, so this is a waste. So the only thing that makes sense here is Inner Storm. Don't worry about anything else, just Inner Storm always. Done. And then for the last one, doing a Mantra of Conviction Annihilation, and this is just for the increased movement speed. So the closest you should be to enemies is 30 yards. So you proc this. You don't need to be any closer, and being further away is a waste of this. You could do overall if you want to increase your damage a little bit, but for the most part, you just want to be able to move through the rift as quickly as possible, so Annihilation is your best pick here. Harmony and Beacon of Ytar is obviously going to be in your passive skills. It's in pretty much every build that's out there. Seize the Initiative is going to increase your attack speed for 4 seconds, and since everything's dead within 4 seconds, this is your best option. And Exalted Soul will give you enough extra spirit so you don't have to waste your points in your Paragon, and it also gives you a little bit of spirit regen, which is pointless to say the least, but I mean it's still there. So this Exalted Soul with Sweeping Wind is more than enough spirit regen that you'll ever need, because you're getting all your spirit back every 2 to 3 seconds with Blinding Flash. And I think that pretty much covers everything here. Gear, Paragon, skills, and cube. Yep, that's pretty much everything. So I'm going to do a quick run on a T10 normal rift just so you guys can see how fast it goes. When I do run this, I do an auto cast on my blinding flash. So every time this comes up, I'm always getting that extra 165 spirit. And that's pretty much it. The only thing I will press, um, will be dash if I need to, and and then wave of light. That's pretty much it. I don't press anything else here. One thing I do want to point out real quick is under my key bindings, I have force standstill set up, and I have that as my shift because that's where my pinky sits when I put my hand on the keyboard. And I have all my skills set up as ASDW. It just works out easier that way. I'm used to playing a lot of RPG games. You know, that's how you move around, so that's how my hand just naturally sits on the keyboard. And because of that, I find that doing ASDW for my skills works out a lot better than QWER. So, I mean, everybody's different. Everybody likes their own thing. This is how I do mine. Spacebar, I'll show you real quick, is my potion. So if I need it real quick, I can just tap it with my thumb because that's where my thumb sits, is right on the spacebar. If I need to hold still and cast something, I can hold shift down real quick with my pinky. And then I got my three middle fingers right there on ASD. If I need to cast something, normally I'll cast W. Anyways, what was I saying? I don't know. I had a ring on my doorbell. Anyways, hold shift with my pinky to auto cast, and then ASDW for my spells. So, anyways, I'm going to run T10 real quick, and you guys can stay and watch it if you want. But that's pretty much the build for the one punch. If you have any questions, leave a comment. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up. If you don't, give me a thumbs up anyways. Helps me out, makes the video more popular so more people see it. Makes me feel special inside. But anyways, here we go, T10. So first thing you want to do is make sure that you always have your sweeping wind going before you start running into enemies. Otherwise, you're not going to do any damage to kill them. And then it's pretty much you just casting, running, dashing to get the extra speed. Kill, kill, kill. Here's an elite pack. These will take a few more hits than everything else, but everything white will just die in one hit. And then you're just running along, hopefully in the right direction, unlike what I just did. And then the Avarice band with the Boon of the Hoarders picking everything up as far as gold and orbs go. So that's you don't have to actually run very close to anything to pick it up. I think it's like a 30-yard pickup radius is what it gives you on top of what you might have already had from your gear. These are like the most garbage maps ever. Everything's all spread out. You can't kill everything real fast and move on. And I hate the way that the trees block your attack. I can get just enough to die, of course. So after you die, you want to make sure you always recast your sweeping wind. That way you have your damage. And then pick up any pools of reflection. That way you get extra XP. For the most part, I use this build for death breath farming and farming gear. So this is by no means a leveling build. This isn't the best way to farm XP. You want to do greater risks for that. Another thing you could run on your belt is if you have enough confidence in yourself where you can keep your stacks up without relying on Kirishira's Soul to keep your stacks up for you. You could run Gold Wrap, and then you'd pretty much be invincible, and you wouldn't ever die just from all the damage reduction it would be creating from all the gold that you pick up. So this is almost done. He should be popping right now. He just did. Come down here, kill him real fast. And here you don't want to hold the left mouse button down. If you do, it will stop your blinding flash from auto casting. So you want to make sure that you're just clicking away at everything. And that's pretty much it. That was T10 in just a few minutes. I think it was like 3 or 4. And that's pretty much it. So I hope you guys liked the video. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it. Leave any comments and I'll get to you as soon as I can. And as always, peace out.